There's going to be a war in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Oklahoma rolling into town, trying to keep those college football playoff hopes intact. Alabama now, if you don't make the SEC championship game, you're not making the college football playoff because that would mean you lost to Oklahoma and you lost to Auburn. Spoiler alert, I don't think that's going to happen, but I want to give you my final take for both Alabama and Oklahoma ahead of this blockbuster matchup in Bryant-Denny. Let's start with Oklahoma, man. The longer I look at Oklahoma, and we already broke down the game, but the more I sit with it as we move closer and closer to Saturday, it's going to be a burn the boats kind of game plan. It's going to be a John Mateer run the football. It's going to be creative. It's going to be aggressive, all those things. But going back to the John Mateer of it all and how many carries I expect him to get, if Oklahoma runs for 200 yards in this game, they will win. All right, that has happened twice this year against Alabama because they haven't been all that great stopping the run. The two games that happened, one, Georgia. Okay, and Alabama shut the water off, or Alabama rather had the water shut off on them in the second half of that game, and Florida State, which of course is the one loss that Alabama is toting over the course of this year. If Oklahoma runs for 200 yards, it means a couple of things. One, you probably controlled the flow of the game, meaning Ty Simpson, Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard, that explosive offense didn't really get to have their full say on things. It also means that in terms of explosives for Oklahoma, those were available in this game. Because if I'm running the football for 200 yards in the game, John Mateer probably didn't go for 300 through the air. But you know what? That box, at some point in time, probably got a little bit crowded. Probably had a little less attention on a Satania, on a Burks, on a Canick. Somebody downfield is getting open. And so if someone's open like that, if we're running for 200 yards, there's probably some shot plays to be had. And I don't need to have a crazy day through the air from John Mateer. I just need to be timely. If I can get the Alabama defense with their hand in the cookie jar, we get explosive plays downfield, ideally for points, we feel pretty good about our chances to win the football game. Also, it probably means you got the Gladiator Mateer game we've talked about here. And we had him on the show last week, and if you're going to tell me that John Mateer is a part of a 200-yard rushing effort on the ground from Oklahoma, which is a lot, but it's a big game, and it's elimination month for Oklahoma in this spot. If you're telling me that we're getting the John Mateer, go out on the shield, fire me up, extra motion kind of game from number 10, it means that Oklahoma is within striking distance. And just get this team in striking distance, I think how I feel about this one when it comes to Oklahoma finding a way to get it done. Just get us close, because we keep going back to like the traits of Oklahoma, and we keep talking about how they just have this extra gear, it seems like, competitively. Get us in that spot in a four-quarter game against Alabama with that kind of effort on the ground, and I think Oklahoma would find a way to trace their way to a win, quite frankly, because they have to have it. Like Alabama, they could lose this game and still be in the college football playoff. Oklahoma can't. Like maybe 9-3, you have a conversation about it, but if we're just going to be real about this, you don't want to depend on enough breaks to get you in at 9-3. The Oklahoma needing this, if they'd run for 200 yards, I think they would find a way again to trace their way through and get it done. Now, for Alabama, my final take. This game is in the hands of Alabama's wide receiving core, more specifically separating and then winning after the catch. Oklahoma, they're going to apply pressure. We say it a lot. Oklahoma, they're great against the run. Oklahoma, if you watched that game against Tennessee, I was sitting there, and early on, I couldn't help but feel like, man, is Tennessee about to run away with this one? Because Joey Aguilar is getting the ball to their receivers in space. There's explosive plays all over the place. And then Oklahoma turned the script on them by getting that defensive touchdown. They kind of settled in. Joey Aguilar wasn't seeing the field quite as clearly. Ty Simpson is going to finish what Joey Aguilar started if the receivers are winning the way that Tennessee's receivers were winning. Because we can say this, with the pressure Oklahoma is going to bring, there will be windows and there will be isolated matchups. So if Jeremy Bernard, Ryan Williams, Lottie Brooks, Isaiah Horton, you go down the line here and talk about all the playmakers for Alabama, if they're winning their matchups and getting open quickly against a top 10 sack rate in college football defense in Oklahoma, guess what? A lot of green grass. So if you separate and win, get the football, because Ty Simpson's going to see it, I promise you that. Get the football in space, and you go win after the catch, get some serious yak, okay, we're cooking now. We're cooking. That's the last part of the equation that I'm watching here, because Ryan Williams struggled with some drops. Lottie Brooks is a true freshman. Like, there's a lot of pieces here where you say, how great do we feel about that all working out how it's supposed to work out here if you're an Alabama fan? If it works out that way, I think there's a world now where Alabama blows this game wide open at home. All right, so if it's close, I kind of lean towards Oklahoma. if it starts rolling with the Tide, I think that'd be a way where Alabama could, again, run away and kind of make this a statement win of sorts for just what they're going to be here in the month of November heading into the college football playoff. So, Bama fans, Sooner fans, let me know your final take for this one. I already gave you mine. It's going to come down to Bama's wide receivers. Going to come down to if Oklahoma can run for over 200 on the ground. Can't wait to watch this one. Excited to hear from y'all in the comment section. For Cato on the ones and the twos, for myself, JD PicKell. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.